Hello friends from YouTube, Fred Bergeron here from Inaxsys Security Systems. In today's video, I will show you how to create access levels with the ICT Protege WX platform. It's very simple, but I will still show you the steps and there's anything that is to me important for you to know. All right, let's have a look at the interface. So from the home page, I want to go under Users and Access Levels. All right. So remember, as we said in the previous video on how to create users, if you use the user wizard, the system can actually create some access levels for you. Okay, depending on which areas and doors you select. If there's no existing record with those doors and areas, the system will create a new access level for you, and you just have to give it a name. Okay. But let's say you need to manually add one. Okay, because you have maybe some new users coming in, or a different department created. So as you can see here from the list of access levels, there's 3 of them by default. The installer typically has access to the keypad as an installer to change the controller settings, like the IP address or the network settings. And master will have access to all the menus from the keypad. Okay, and also all doors, all floors, all elevator cabs, all partitions. So basically, this user is unrestricted by default. Okay, but this user does not have access to change the controller settings from the keypad. Okay, and only arm and disarm and bypass zones and things like that. Okay, and the user is basically one that is predefined for in the system. But let's have a look at how we can create a new one. So I click on the Add button. Okay. Sorry, I was just typing nowhere. All right, so let's create one for employees. Okay, so very important. By default, the system has always for the operating schedule. If I change the schedule in here, it will affect anything else that is assigned to the access level. Okay, so if the schedule is, let's say, from 8 to 5 p.m. every day of the week, outside of this, I cannot unlock doors, I cannot disarm or arm partitions, I cannot go to a keypad. Okay, everything is following that schedule, from top to the bottom. So what do we have here? So with ICT Protege WX, the access level is everything you need to give or not access to. Okay, everything is in there. It's like a big container defining where a user can go and when. Okay, so in this case, we're controlling doors and door groups. Okay, so typically the way I handle it is if you have, let's say, common doors that everybody will have access to, I usually create a door group and assign this group to all the access levels. And then, depending on the department or the type of users, you can actually drop in more doors in there so that there's the group of doors and the list of doors that is taken under consideration. So when I badge my card, system will look at doors and door groups, and then in the end, will either grant me access or not to the door. Okay, so there's arming and disarming area groups. Okay, so you can separate these 2 items. So if, let's say, you have a group of users that cannot disarm in the morning, but they can still be allowed to arm, let's say like the cleaning staff, the cleaning crew, for instance, you may not want to give them disarming rights, but you can give them arming rights. Okay, so if I just look at the record here, so I can easily drag doors into here. I can just select and hit the control key or the shift key to select multiple doors. Now I just had a door 1 as the door in the access level. Okay, and again, you have the schedule if you want to restrict access. Okay, and the direction. Maybe you want to allow them to exit only because it's an exit alley door. Okay, so in other words, this is a doors tab under the area groups. The door groups. I cannot add because I didn't have anyone, but it's the same thing. Again, it's combining both the doors and the door groups tab when you use your card in the system. Okay, the list of area groups and arming and disarming area groups. This is what you have here. Okay, floors and floor groups. That's when you control elevator access. Okay, so when I badge my card inside the elevator, the system will look at the elevator groups first. Okay, if I'm allowed access to the elevator, then the system will look at the floor groups, and depending on if we use destination reporting or not, the system will either trigger all the floor relays I have access to, or wait for me to make a selection, and then the relay will click accordingly. Okay, menu group is for menu access. This is what I mean by a menu access on a keypad. Okay, so if you don't have a menu group, even if you have a PIN number for card access, you won't be able to log in on the keypad. You must have a menu group defining which menus you have access to, so you can log in on one of those keypads, okay? And then the last two items that we have here is the outputs and output groups. In some specific conditions, sometimes we want to have, let's say, a door operator to trigger when a specific group of users is being granted access to the door. Sometimes maybe you want to turn on the lights or trigger something with a relay. This is how we do it. We assign the output or the group of outputs to the access level, all right? And then we configure the reader ports or the keypad entry to trigger those outputs. So in other words, this was how to create access levels with ICT Protege WX. I hope you liked the videos. If you have any questions regarding this specifically or anything else that you would like us to make a video on, send those comments below. All right, we'll always answer quickly. And again, thanks for watching. My name is Frederic Bergeron from Inaxsys.